Hello, everyone. So this is going to be a super duper long live. I just have a couple things to get off my chest. And so, yeah, here it goes. So, as you can see by the title, I think it's interesting about how we can police, what women do with their bodies, but we still can't figure out how to call a terrorist. So, most of you guys already know that there was a shooting in Highland Park yesterday because a terrorist lost their man decided to shoot at the 4th of July picnic. Like, Chicago don't have any other problems that's going on right now. Seriously, dude. Like, but what gets me is that now I went back and I saw the press conference, and they said the classic thing. Well, he got the gun and he got it legally. Like, that makes anything better. This freaking murderous terrorist fool got a gun legally. Is that supposed to make it better? Am I supposed to feel all warm and fuzzy because he legally got the gun and murdered people? Is that how that works? So we're saying that, okay, he got the gun legally, whatever it was, he didn't get it illegally, so we should feel better, right? So my question is, so now, I started this off by saying we can police women's bodies, but we still haven't figured out mainstream media. I'm calling y'all out because y'all the ones that keep on doing this. Every time the person is Muslim or black, you are quick to call them a terrorist. But when they are Caucasian, for whatever reason, you have this issue with saying terrorist. Say this with me: terrorist, murderer. You know you can speak the words because you say it every single time the suspect is black or Middle Eastern. You say it every time, every single time. But for whatever reason, when the person happens to be somebody that's Caucasian, you never ever say it. Why? Why is that? So all my friends that contest at NBC, ABC, WGN, whatever, explain that part to me, because I'm incredibly confused by that situation. The fact that we're sitting up here and talking about this murderer, terrorist, jackass from Highland Park, and I have other questions about the cops and where were y'all when the situation went down? And there's every excuse in the book. Now I'm sure they're gonna go back into his childhood and hear trauma and blah blah blah. Like, I give a damn about that because I'm so sick and tired of that trope every time something happens. Oh, well, he had a troubled childhood and he wasn't liked and da 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 da. So the hell what? That doesn't mean you can become a terrorist, jackass. Doesn't mean you go kill people because you're mad. Ooh, you're upset. Ooh, you're frustrated. So you can go kill people because you're mad, because you're frustrated, because your heart's hurt. I don't give a damn. And my biggest thing is that when are we going to start to actually give consequences to people that sell these murderers and terrorists the guns? Why haven't we came with that law yet? If you sell a gun in your store to someone who commits a crime, your store should have a consequence. Preferably, your shop should be shut down because obviously you don't have the common sense to not sell your shit to terrorists. And y'all can say free enterprise all you want. And we didn't know when he was nice when he came in the store and watched this whole thing come out like, well, he was a good boy and he didn't do this. And then actually what's coming out right now is the fact that he had videos talking about things that he possibly might do. Y'all can police everything else. You sit up there, you police the fact when we share too much, when we like too much, yada yada yada. When we have music in our video that we don't own, whatever, you police that, but you can't seem to see. Oh, this person might do something crazy. Maybe we should check their page. Maybe we should alert authorities. From what I understand, this kid was planning this. I'm sorry, this terrorist was planning this shit for like 3 weeks. I think that's what I heard when they was giving the press conference. He's planning this for 3 weeks and nobody caught none of this. I'm sitting there having to get messages talking about, am I okay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? About this damn shooting in Highland Park at a parade. And people are just trying to have fun. You know how long it's been since we've been able to go outside and do stuff? But y'all want to sit there and keep up the mess. Like Chicago ain't got enough daggone problems. Y'all want to keep up with this mess. And I said this whole situation when it comes to the y'all want to police women's bodies because we already know Roe versus Wade. They did away with that, and I have so many questions because all these senators, all these politicians, period, that have had these women forced abortions. What? Hold on, wait, yeah, wait. Let me get to that, Miss Cap Secret. I know. Let me get to that part. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Let me get to that. Hold on, I'm gonna get there too. Yeah, now we got six. Now instead of just 16 shots in the cover up, y'all doing 60 shots in the cover up in Ohio, and ain't nobody talking about that one. I have not seen that on mainstream media one time. It's all over social media though. That was all over social media. Let me put it up for y'all that don't know. Hold on, we ain't even getting to that part. Didn't even get into that part at all because that happened last week. They shot them at 60. No, I'm sorry. No. They shot him 90 times. It landed 60, and then put him in handcuffs after he was shot. But the terrorist, he was apprehended. Y'all got a story from him. Y'all cared about the story. Every time somebody with a gun does something, with an actual gun, not a phone, not an ice cream cone, not not a mirror, like with an actual gun, when someone with an actual gun actually does something, somehow they manage to come home unscathed and go to lawyers and things and go to trials and not have their life taken right away. But when it's a person of color, especially a black man, whether they're armed or unarmed, it's always murder, murder, kill, kill. They're always judge, jury, and executioner. So why is that? And the better question is, why do we continue to allow that? It's disgusting. Oh, hold on, wait. This is a press conference that is planned for weeks. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I forget you here, man. That's why I came on, because they're saying it was planned for weeks and he bought the guns legally. Okay, they bought the guns legally. How was that helpful? If he bought the guns legally, now I'm looking at every single gun shop owner. And why aren't you guys paying attention to who the hell you're selling your guns to? Y'all keep selling your guns to terrorists with no repercussions. That's the problem. And I'm calling out Pritzker for this. I'm calling out Lloyd Lightfoot, every single mayor, every single politician in this state. Why are we allowing this? We have no guns that are sold in this city, yet we can constantly have shit happening around this city. And we're not even getting into the fact of how many guns magically appear in the city, even though we can't buy guns here. It's really weird how guns keep appearing here, but we can't buy them here. But then we find out that they're legally bought somewhere else. Usually it's either outside of the city or outside of the state. In this case, they were actually bought in the state. What you say? Oh, everybody's calm about it. Here's the whole situation. Like, everybody's calm about it because we all know they're not gonna do anything about it. The news won't even call the guy a terrorist. They never do. That's the problem. In this day and age, at this point, y'all know how to say the word terrorist. You say it all the time when it's somebody else that's of color. That's not a problem. You are quick to say terrorist, thug, all of those things. But when it's a white guy, y'all don't do it ever. Why is that? And y'all been called out for that on several occasions. All the time we have the situation go on constantly. You never ever call that shit out. Period. And it's hella frustrating because at this point it's the fact of the matter that now we have these people that are sitting up here and acting as if, well, it was bought legally, and let's figure out what happened. When I promise you, had that been a black man that did it, y'all would have found out every single person in his family, everybody else. We talk about him in the past tense. There's that part. They probably would have bombed his damn house. Like it's crazy. He should be classified as one. Hold on. Girl, because it's crazy every single time. This isn't the first time. This is one of the very few times it's happened in Illinois, and it's been this close to Chicago. Because they can't wait to blame us for that mass. They cannot wait because every time there's a mass shooting anywhere around the country, so well, Chicago did XYZ. Chicago ain't had no mass shootings like that in this city because they police our city too freaking hard for that. And the ones y'all want to call mass shootings, we're not even going to go there because I have so many questions about how there's a shooting out south and there are cops around. The cops do absolutely nothing and wait till everything ends, don't intervene at all. I have so many questions about that situation too, but we're not even getting to that part yet. Y'all can police everything else, and if it's found that he was on social media sitting there and talking about this, every single person that's following him, every single person that's friends with him, go and find them. Go investigate who they are. Because this is unacceptable. Because all of y'all are culpable. Because you allowed the mess to happen. Because you didn't shut it down. Then if you're saying something now, it's too fucking late. You should have said something to this fool when he was sitting there and talking about this. You should have gone to the authorities before it happened. But now people are gonna want to be like, well, he was a good kid and we didn't know he was gonna do anything, and we just thought it was talking, because that's always the rhyme scheme, right? We didn't know it was gonna happen. We just thought it was talking. Every single time you don't know that they were gonna do it every single time. And then afterwards is, man, we thought they were just talking about it. We didn't really think they was gonna do it. As many times as we've been down this road, we didn't think they were gonna do it. You didn't think to call a police officer. You didn't think to call a self-help line. Something. Call a damn counselor. Like, I'm so sick and tired of these people going back and forth on the same bullshit. It makes no damn sense. I do not understand. And mass mainstream media call him what he is: a terrorist, a murderer, a thug. You can say the words, you say them every fucking day, all the time. Whether they're a thug or not, you will say that. If it's a Latino, if it's someone that's Middle Eastern, if they're black, those words roll off your tongue like nothing. All of a sudden, it freezes when it's a white guy. Seriously? Really? I mean, like I said, and this is the mainstream channels. That's NBC, ABC, WGN, all of y'all. Every single channel, CNN, every single channel that has a news station, y'all always, every single time, let this ride. Why? Why don't you ever say, you know what, that murderous thug terrorist, just one time, I would like one of y'all to just say it just once. Maybe say it when you are on your way out. I don't know. Maybe let's holler the people that do the teleprompters. Just somebody in the teleprompter, just pipe it in real quick. Just slip it in so they say it. Because it needs to be said. These people keep on doing this because they keep getting away with it. That's the problem. It took too long to show us. I don't even want to know their names though. That's the thing. Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, I'm tired of making these fools famous. That's my biggest thing. Like, I'm tired of knowing who they are. I really don't want to know. I really don't care who they are. Because again, I go back to the fact of, had they been a black man, we would be talking about the fool in the past tense. We'd be talking about the terrorist, murderous thug in the past tense. But now we're talking about, he was apprehended. He was apprehended safely. Seriously? So we can't apprehend somebody safely when we choose to. That's what we're going with right now. So when we want to, we can apprehend people safely. But otherwise it's murder, kill. 60. Let's go back to that part. Hold on. Highland Park is not in the ghetto, but everyone else in the country is saying this is normal for Chicago. That's the suburbs, and it's still wrong. First of all, this is the problem. That's the problem right there. First of all, It's not in the hood. Highland Park is outside of Chicago. It is not. It is not. It's Chicago land. So this whole thing of that's normal for our city. Stop with that shit. Because first and foremost, we're not even in the top 25 when it comes to murders. Let's go ahead and check the stats. We're really not. We're really not. I'll do another stream where I literally Google us online and see. I forget what number we are, but we're nowhere near in the top cities. When it's coming to violence, we just get the most coverage on it. Let's start with that piece right there. And this whole thing of it's not normal. It's not normal anywhere. And it's damn sure not normal here. As a country, we won't ever be able to look at this in the bigger picture because it's still an underlying issue. Woo! It's kept secret. Oh my god. That's all it is, period. Period. Because it's still this misconception that, that at the end of the day, it's, oh, well, black folks kill each other and blah, 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 and this and that and the third. So that's why they don't care when the cops kill us. But because I was the black on black crime. Okay, let's go back to that. Black on black crime does not exist. It's called crime within communities. So, and the reason that black folks are in the areas that they're in is because of a thing called redlining. You know what redlining is? That means that black folks have been conditioned to only be in a certain area by laws and by boundaries. And that was done by the government. Everything was made by design. I could get into that, but that's a whole another video. So this whole situation, so black folks are in proximity to each other, and you refuse to put money into that community, and you in Chicago, so you know this, and you keep taking away money when it comes to community programs. You keep taking away money when it comes to jobs. Y'all couldn't wait to do shit. Y'all couldn't wait to shut shit down for COVID because y'all didn't want to pay for shit anyways when it came to youth programs. Because how many of those programs are back up? How many of those job programs are back up? And yes, okay, I'll give y'all the credit of giving out funds when it came to COVID and this and the third. Y'all help with that for sure. Absolutely, I will give y'all the credit of that. Y'all got off y'all asses and did something, but now I have other questions because that means you could have been done something before COVID hit, right? That means y'all had the money, but you just didn't move on it, right? So y'all had the money before, but you didn't do nothing with it. So you could have been helped the situation. You could have been giving out money to business owners, but you chose not to. Or let me phrase that. You chose to do it in your little cliques or whatever, and making sure that your friends got stuff first before everyone else. Don't get me going to Chicago politics because I know it for real, in real life. Because I've worked in Chicago politics, so I know the back end. That's why I don't work in Chicago politics anymore. Because I know the back end of how many of y'all. There are some amazing politicians. Shout out to Toni Preckwinkle, still love her. That's why I helped to get her in office. That's why she's staying in office. Because we got her there for a reason. Because she's doing the damn thing. And let's be very clear. Had she not gotten office, Illinois would not be able to have recreational cannabis, period. Because she started that, not Rahm Emanuel. Let's start with that. I was there when we were drafting the language that's talking about the fact that people should go to rehab when they have non-violent drug offenses as opposed to going to jail. I was there when that language was drafted. But y'all wouldn't know about that because y'all was focused on the damn sugar tax. I'm like, y'all don't even know anything that's going on in their background. Y'all focused on that sugar tax that lasted, 3 months? Really? Had a whole fit over the sugar tax. Oh my God, not paying attention to the fact that she sat there and balanced our budget. Y'all forgot about that part. We balanced the actual county budget. Fire people that wasn't doing nothing. Again, I was there for that whole process. I was there from the minute she decided to run for office to the minute she won. And then it backed away because I saw how crazy Chicago politics was. And I was like, I'm good. I'm done. If I wanted to go back in the office and do it, I could. I just choose not to. But it's also because of a mess like this. Please explain to me how it is that now, like, I'm not even checking the comment section because I've learned to not check the comment sections when shit like this happens, because motherfuckers that don't live here always got something to say about our city. They know nothing about what goes on, nothing about the work we put in. This is why I stayed completely out of every single rally when it came to the George Floyd situation, because I already know they are quick. Cops was quick to shoot people, and I already knew how that was gonna go. So the way my patience is set up, I stayed out of it because I already know I'm loud. Um, whenever I do rallies and whatnot, and that would have been a target on my back, and I was like, "No, let me not do that. Let me let them have it." Because and it would have been halfway for me to get home because they was doing the most ever, and y'all used to protest. That's the crazy part. Chicago, y'all used to protest, but y'all did the most during that. Y'all did the most. And watch right now, they're gonna have a situation in Highland Park, and there's gonna be all these new bullshit rules and curfews and this, that, and the third. Don't blame that on the city, because that was not on the city. What you can blame on the city is the fact that we continuously allow this mess to go on and be unchecked. What you can blame on the city is the fact that y'all keep on letting out people that are violent, and people keep people incarcerated who have non-violent offenses. We can blame that on the city for sure. But like I said, I'm calling on every single news station in this city, every single news station in this country. Call these murderer, terrorist thugs what they are. Because every single time you don't, another one sees it and says, "Oh, well, I'm going to get to go home." And don't even get me started on Kyle Rittenhouse. I have so many questions with that situation. Y'all made that little terrorist a star? Really? 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 And my biggest thing is that because he tried to call foul when he was the one that came down to the rally and killed people. So now you're allowed to calm down with your mama, so a peaceful rally, and shoot people, and go home and get on TV and get deals and stuff, and have absolutely no consequences. I've been a couple people hating you. You want mugshots, no glamours, right? Period. That part we want, right? We want mugshots. I want the baby mama name. Like let's go down the list. Let's get it right, because I said, when it's us, let's see what that looks like. Us that commit a crime, whether or are suspected of committing a damn crime. Y'all go down the whole freaking list. Y'all blocking people. Y'all shutting people's accounts down. Did y'all shut down everybody's account that knew this was gonna happen? I want to see that. I want to see every single person that knew this was gonna happen and said nothing. I want all of their accounts shut down because you allowed this to happen. You sat there and you followed. You sat there and you liked. Sat there and you commented. And none of you people called the police. If he sat there and he actually put this up on social media and none of his followers, none of his so-called friends said nothing, you're culpable too. The blood is on your hands too. I still have so many questions about where the heck the police were when this situation happened. Because in Chicago, the police are hella deep when it comes to parades. I don't know, maybe there is different in Highland Park, but the fact that Miss kept secret talking about well, people are just basically saying, that's normal for Chicago. It's not normal for Chicago. And stop telling that bullshit lie too. Chicago was a city of people that work their asses off. Chicago was a city of hustlers. We working 9 to 5s, business owners, 2 and 3 jobs, 2 and 3 businesses. But that's not what y'all see. We're working to try to do things when it comes to the city to help the city better. But then when we start doing things in the city and the city starts to grow, then we start having issues because the city starts making money off the bullshit. But that's it. I'm gonna go ahead, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here because I got shit to do. But I was done. I'm done. I can't, like, y'all blowing me with this shit. I'm over it. I'm not even gonna get into the whole Roe versus Wade situation because that's a whole nother problem. I blame everybody that voted for 45 because y'all helped to get this going. They said they was gonna do it. I really think that every single person, every single justice that went in there and lied and perjured themselves, because they lied specifically, they perjured themselves because they said they weren't going to overturn it and then did it. So does perjury not apply to them? And if it does, can we get them out of office? Because last time I checked, that was perjury. But like I said, that's a whole nother video, and I'll probably come back and do that with some friends or whatever. But this right here is a problem. It's a huge problem. So before I get out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and put my website in the links so you guys can, oh, Lord, so you guys can come see the new website. The Night Azure video is on Thursday. I have some amazing people. Shout out to Reza, who is the director of radio and promotions for Rock Nation. Will be my guest. He is super dope. So make sure you check that out. We are showing love to J. Cole, and we will be playing DJ Khaled's album. Yes, Queen. I have a new site, so make sure you check that out for sure. And have you downloaded the app yet, Ma? If not, let me know and I can sing. You can if you go on to the website and click on the Next Legacy tab, that'll take you to the next. Actually, no, hold on. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna just put the Next Legacy link in the chat real quick, so you can go ahead and grab the app if you haven't already done so. Cause child, So let me go ahead and grab the application. 1 second. So yeah, if you go right here, you can grab the app and you can tune in. Right now we have the Her Story broadcast, where we're doing music from amazing women or by amazing women all day long. We also have a piece where we're called Her Spoken Word, where we have we play an hour in the morning and in the evening of women doing poetry and motivational speeches. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna come back live tomorrow, but I had to say this because I am just fucking over it. Like, for real. I'm over it. It is really, really frustrating. Hey, that's what's up. That's why I love Miss Kesty, because she's amazing. Follow her on Instagram because she be giving y'all a tea in them stories. But she be giving y'all the tea in the stories. I love it. I'm like, ooh, child. And she was speaking some truth. So she's doing some amazing things. Always been a really, really dope supporter. So make sure y'all tap in with that queen because she's definitely doing her thing. No questions asked. But yeah, I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow. I'm gonna be back try to go back live at least once a day. We're gonna work on it because YouTube, we get mad when I don't go live and stuff. But shit now. I'm gonna get back on just a little bit. Like I said, I don't give a damn about the numbers. I get my numbers on my station. So anyways, my name is Danaya Azure. Follow me on all social media at Danaya Azure, DANAYAAZURE, like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, facebook.com/K4S Entertainment. Make sure that you guys subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.